Welcome back to Simply Moms. As always, we're here to empower women, empower mothers, empower families. And today, we're going to have part 2 of Hashu's story, where she starts talking about how her faith healed her. So stay tuned. And thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, here we go.
For healing, you have to go somewhere else.
So what healed you?
My faith.
Okay.
My faith, because when I say that when you see yourself as a whole already, psychology help you to rediscover. Psychology only help you to find your triggers.
Okay.
Find your triggers, but you have to work on them yourself. That is the inner work. That's the shadow work they call. That's working with your own darkness, hidden things. So that came from spirituality. So I was able to put psychology and spirituality together with my own experience, with my gift of being able to channel. And I sat with book and notebook and I started writing. Okay, I used to light the candle up and write. And it was automated writing. Things I used to write, I didn't even know I knew those. And I'm like, what is happening? And then I realized I was channeling. As a channeled writing.
Okay.
Even today,
yeah, I see you posting on Facebook
even
and things.
Today, I don't force myself to write. If it comes, I write it. And when I write, and I'm like, where is this coming from? I know I have integrated a lot of my experience, my pain, I have transmuted into abundance now. But more you go inward, first of all, we don't know what is going inward. I didn't know that.
Can you explain that to people who are watching? How do you go inward? Because you might be saying going inward, like how do I do that?
I did not. Letting go. Say let go. What do you let go?
Yeah, how do you do that?
How you go inward. Inward, going inward is sitting with yourself.
And like what action do you have to do? Because going inward, do you have to think? Like explain it a bit in more detail.
Let's think about take this my experience of 15 years of marriage. Now, if I say I will advise you on your relationship,
no, let's use your experience.
How do I do that? If I have a broken marriage, how can I guide you? If I people say you was not even able to handle your own house, own marriage, own relationship, how can you advise me? Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
How does it build your confidence? It does not.
No, I think
it will break you.
In my opinion, you know what you went through. You know what went wrong. That is, if you sit with yourself, you know what went wrong. You sit and you say, if I had done this better, then you can advise someone from that.
So now that's
in my opinion.
Yes, now that is.
I would not sit here and judge you and say if you couldn't.
Now, Leah,
but you also managed to live in a marriage for 15 years. Yes. That's a lot.
Yes, because there was a spiritual reason. That marriage taught me to be in my power. I learned how strong I was from that. Because everything thrown at me, I was able to handle it. Mentally, emotionally. And it taught me patience. It taught me how connected that when you're in the dark place, it pushes you to look for something that is greater than what you are living. Greater than that was not the society, not my family, because my family would have actually pushed me probably back into it because it's a family honor thing. Yeah. Right? Now going inward. This is going inward.
Going inward is what
you said. Sit with yourself and think. Now you actually give perfect example of I would think you have lived. That's going inward. You went inward. You connected to your heart and you said, okay, I'm not going to blame her because that's a job of ego. Ego will, okay, you did it. Now, people who blame, they are the one who wants control over you or they are operating from ego. But you went inward. Inward, you listen to your heart. Oh, she's been through tough time. She knows what it is going through and she be able to guide me because she lived it. Now that is going inward. So for me, when I said going inward for me was, okay, 15 years, I lived this experience or I'm living this experience. Even when I was in marriage, I'm living this. Okay. How painful it is because first hits the pain. It was painful, and I acknowledged that pain that it was. If I had to cry, I cried. If I had to improve something, then I would improve. But what I found was my soul, the way that the ecosystem that I was in was not conducive for me, because I'm very open, honest, truthful, loyal person. Very loyal. And to be loyal to somebody, you have to be loyal to yourself first. You don't know what honesty is unless you're honest with your own feelings, with your own thoughts, with your own emotions. And I used to write diary. And I used to write my emotions, thoughts that was like, yes, I'm in a dark place. I used to have a dark thoughts. But that person did this to me. I felt like this. Now that is going inward because I'm acknowledging what is happening within me. But that diary was seen by my husband, and he ripped it and said, you were saying this thing. So one thing that was able to help me to let out, because nobody is listening there, you are on your own. Let out and let go was taken from me, and I was not able to write anymore. So what that pushed me to sit in meditation. I used to lit up the lamp and sit in meditation, and I used to talk to God. Now you have to anchor yourself in somebody you believe is higher than, somebody who have the power, somebody who can change your life like this. And I start talking to him, because if I can't write it, I have to find a safer way to do it. Safer way was to talk to God. And I started doing that. That, when I complained, it did not change my outside environment, but it changed my inside environment. How I become person of faith. While meditation, I used to feel so much good about it and able to let go. It used to give me hope. If there was, I used to see blackboard. There was a point when one of the family member, I talked to them, said, I'm in this marriage, but I don't see way forward, because I see there's a blackboard in front of me, and I have no permission. I cannot write my future in it. It's a blackboard, black, darkness, jet black. I don't see anything beyond that. And when you are in that space, spiritually, you are supposed to sit with yourself and go inward. And that's what I was guided to do, and I did that. When I did that, it gave me peace. And what I discovered about is, in spite of all the chaos, there was peace within me. There is a place inside me where I can go and take advice from there. And that was beautiful. And that, when every time they said, you did this wrong, and I used to sit and, okay, how was I wrong? You should apologize for this. And I said, how should I apologize? I used to sit, I used to lit the candle up, sit in meditation, how? But there were points where I was like, okay, no, that was a bit too much. I should not have done that. But there were points where I revolted, my heart, my soul, my whole being revolted against it. This should not be done, because your soul is free, liberated entity. It won't accept control. You will feel that, rage inside you. That's a sacred rage you will feel inside, because it's wrong. It's been controlled. The truth has been twisted. That rage that comes from that, that's a sacred rage. And that you have to owe that rage of your soul. And you have to walk that path. Once then you walk that path, that makes you more confident. That makes you see that gives you, that unlocks the power in you, strength in you, the gifts in you. That's how you become a confident, secure person. But once you are out of it, you will sit with it. I was talking to your husband that we have to sit with it to be able to see different perspective. Because if this is the point, and if you draw a circle around it, how many shoots will go out, lines will go out in a dimensional way. If you take a ball, and ball is the core point, and you start putting needles in it, how many needles will go in it? So that's many perspective, or even more perspective. That's just, I'm giving example, perspective to one point of the truth. There are different dimensions of truth.
Wow, hush.
Empowering comes from within. We can just trigger trigger. We can become a catalyst. We can trigger something in somebody.
Yeah.
But it's that person who have to say, okay, I will do something with this trigger. I won't blame them. They triggered me. They're talking rubbish. No, I will sit with this trigger. I will see what this trigger is teaching me. What lesson I have to learn. What I have to, or what gift is bringing me, what strength I will get after facing this trigger, and how I will stand in my power because I've been triggered now.
Like you just mentioned, you didn't have your own bank account.
Yes.
You open your account. Now you're going to be able to be financially independent.
No, I was not. I was just a bank account I opened, and my salary was still not going into it for years.
Oh my God.
And
really?
Yes, my salary used to go into a joint account, right? And if I'm using the card, everything is on paper, right? You can trace it back where it is going. But if I draw a £5 from or £10, I had to kind of tell where I spent it.
Wow. If someone tells you, for example, okay, I'm telling you my story, or when I was married, in whatever marriage, I didn't have control over my money, that would trigger someone who has been through it.
So now that's an emotional trigger. That trigger is actually now will evoke in you emotions of helplessness, powerless, no control over your life. You have no sway over your life. And what else? It will be like you have no control over what you say, you do, and all your money you cannot spend. So this now, with that control, comes all these things. You feel powerless. The feeling that is attached to not having your own bank account. You're powerless. The one who have hold over the money got all the power.
Okay.
You're helpless. You cannot go and tell anybody because you are not in that ecosystem that I haven't got the account, because that person is already prepared to what to say. They know what they are doing and they know how they're gonna defend them. Because they are already doing it, they're very clever. If you are under somebody's control, they're clever. That's why they're able to do it. And now you have to see what you want from it now. You want liberation. You want liberation. You want freedom. You want to have your own say on your money. Now, in that situation, the first step would be, what the smallest thing I can do that will bring me that joy. For me, in that controlled situation, the first step was, I want to have my own bank account first. Because we women, we don't live in marriage because how are we going to survive with our children? Money is a big issue. If you haven't got it, you can't take a step forward. So now you have to see, you haven't got the bank account. Now, even if you have a bank account, but you haven't got the say to say, do anything, what is the safest thing you can do? The slightest, smallest thing you can do, take that small step towards it. Yeah. Once you have taken that, what is the next step? What is the next step? Whether it's outward step, taking any action, or it's inward, there has to be some action. So for 15 years, my action was not outward. It was all inward. If it was painful for me, what I did was I found out, okay, how can I make it less painful? If I was told I was wrong, then I had to think about what was the right thing in this. You have to look for the opposite. When somebody is telling me I'm wrong, they're trying to take away my power or correct me.
So is it not good to be corrected in marriage?
No, I'm telling you. Either they are taking my power away or they are giving me power. There are two ways. If somebody is criticizing you, or correct, is it a constructive criticism or is it criticism to break you? So the way it is said, in the tone it is said, is it a hammer that will break you, or is it the pillar that will make you stand? You have to think. Now I'm over here, Leah. Everything I say here, I have a habit. I have this habit of saying you in every conversation as if I'm pointing it to you. But it's not you, it's a journalized you. For me, even in my writing, you will see you. I try not to, but this is how it comes, like as if I'm talking to somebody. And probably for some people, when I say you can be controlling, so but I'm not. It's not you. You means generalizer. Somebody can be controlling. You can tell me, Harshu, we did interview with you, but you were not looking at the camera, which I'm not. I know. So next time, can you please look at the camera? In spite of me knowing that I'm not. I'm talking to you. For me, it has to be, connection. I don't feel connected to camera. But somebody told me you have to flirt to the camera.
You don't have to here.
Not the cameraman. So you can give that opinion of you, that advice to me in various forms.
Right. So basically what you're saying is that when you're in a relationship, in a marriage, if you're giving constructive criticism, be mindful of the tone you use, be mindful of the way you deliver the message, basically.
Yeah, I'm talking from my own experience, because the way I was talked to, it affected me so much in the long term, when I realized that I was talking in the same tone to my children.
It happens.
So when I say I was powerless mother, I passed on my trauma to my children. Now that's what a powerless mother can do. Because I was not aware of it. This was what was happening to me. And in the heat of the moment, I told my son, oh, that's why you haven't got any friends. And that hit him real hard, and where it hurt the most. Till day, I apologize for that to him with tears in my eyes. Every time this thing comes up, and it kind of triggers me. How could I be so hard on my own born, on my own son, and he was only a child?
I bet what you're saying is we have to heal
first.
Yeah, we have to heal ourselves so that we don't pass on.
Wounded feminine, wounded mother, powerless
to
mother is harmful for children. So we as a mother have to take accountability, responsibility to heal ourselves.
And fathers.
Yes.
We as mothers and fathers.
So that we can create that ecosystem for our children, because children are not our property.
Yeah.
They are the souls God entrusted us with. We are their first gurus. And mother is first guru after father. And mother is always given, God is first and second is mother in our culture. Is that place given to mother. So
in your culture, that's how it is.
Yes, and mother is like top.
Okay. In a Christian, it's God, father, mother, and children.
In our culture, mother is next to God, sits next to God.
Okay.
And now if I have that responsibility, and I sat in prayer, I said, mother is supposed to be your image. Then why I'm not that to my children? So now, because I have seen what I was when I was powerless mother, and then my daughter came, I became powerful mother, because now she made me, her presence made me think. She was not even born. What sort of life I want to give to my daughter? That liberation. It was like, poof. It was for the first time I had strength. I was the strongest mother. Then I was powerless mother, but with my daughter I become powerful mother, because I knew the elements I wanted her to be safe from. I know that ecosystem I wanted to create for her. I know how I want her to be treated as a wife. I know how I wanted her to be treated when she's a sister or daughter-in-law. Or anything else. And now I have to create that. To be able to do that, first I have to work on myself. I realized, knowingly and unknowingly, I survived that 15 years of marriage. There was another element to it, because I did what my mother did. Kept quiet. I was angry, yes. I was in pain, yes. There was a rage inside me, yes. But that's not the way of living. If you are living in that rage constantly 24/7, you're in the wrong place, sweetheart. You have to leave it. I'm talking from experience. If you are living in pain, if you are living in anger, fear, and there's a rage inside you, that's not the right place to be in. It's not you, it's the environment you are living in. Leave that environment. I can say it now because I've done it myself, but it took me a long time to understand that, because I didn't want it to pass on that to my daughter.
So what is it like now with your daughter?
My daughter, the first certificate she received in her school was of being a good friend. And I was over the moon. This is what I wanted my children to be. Not an engineer, not a rich person, not a business tycoon, not an astronaut, not a doctor, not anything, but be a full-fledged human. That's the degree. That's the title. But who is that doctor? That doctor is not an elephant or a tiger. That doctor is a human. How compassionate profession is of a doctor. And he sits next to the God who saves life as well. And if you are not that compassionate person, you won't be in that profession. So you have to be certain type of a human to go in care. You have to hold that compassionate, benevolent heart to be in that kind of profession. Be it a doctor, a nurse, a carer, a mother, a father, a friend. Yeah. If you are not, you cannot be that profession. You cannot be that in that relationship if you are not.
Wow. So all this psychology and your life experience, how has this now impacted on the kids and also on the work you're doing?
Oh, immensely. Because when I got separated, then I had to sit with myself. Now here, my household, my family was run by his rules. And the responsibility was on me now. How to do it. And there were days I used to sit and look at the corner of the ceiling, that void of, separation was there. But then I used to think, wow, what is missing? The drama was missing.
Come on.
That void. Why is that void in my life? Because I know I was not missing him. The drama was missing. The pain was missing. The blame was missing. The shame was missing. That insecurity was missing. And I loved that myth. I would love to miss that all my life. And I loved that. I said, wow, I got this time to myself now. What I have to do. So I created that ecosystem within me first. Because I had to let go of what I picked up in 15 years of what I had to sit with me, go inward. And say, okay, now I see how powerless mother I was. And with my daughter's birth, I found, okay, what kind of mother I want to be to her. And now I had to work towards it. And then I kind of started taking first steps. So first I undo all the things that was done. That was the psychological trauma that we lived. So I ask school, schools provide counseling.
Is that for kids whose parents are going through?
Kids, yes, I was going through that, and my elder son was offered counseling. He said no, but my younger was only then 7, so I was the one who had to take decision for him. I said yes, I would like him to go for counseling, and then he sat over there because he was a very wise child, very emotional, very sensitive. Son, being. All 3 of my children are very sensitive, very wise, and I don't see them as little children. I see them as old soul who walked into my life, and we had this amazing journey together of pain, transmutation of pain into abundance, and then all 3 of us together created this safe place for our daughter. My daughter, their sister, and she is the child of happy home, and she's different from all of us. She don't know pain. She don't know pain, but she know only pain. The pain she knows is when her younger brother tells her off. corrects her and all that. He's the more like he has taken the more role of disciplining her. I am more of a good cop, bad cop story. and my eldest son is listening. She will go and open her heart to him, and he will like, okay, listen. He have patience of grandfather. He will sit with her and listen to her everything. I haven't got that sort of patience. And like, can we be quick? I am on deadline. Yes, but important thing is I do give her time. I said, okay, this is our time. You plan it. I'm going to give you this much time and we'll do things together. And I know things she likes. She's very good at drawing. She's very good at painting. She's, self-taught. Now she's going into music. And I'm loving it because these are the ways you express yourself. She's very good at expressing her feeling. And I listen to her. And I always tell her, okay, before you start talking to me, you have to tell me, you want me to help you? Or just listen to you, or you're just letting it out. And she's like, when something every single day, when she comes back from school, either on the way, said, Mom, I want to tell you this, but I just want to let it out. Okay. So I know that I don't have to pay that much attention. I don't have to pay that much attention. I don't have to invest that much into mentally or emotionally. So I just listen. Are you done? Yes, I feel better. Okay, let's done. And then there are days when Mom, I don't understand this. I say, you want me to make you understand, or you want my advice? First listen to me. Okay, I'll listen to her and I'll give my side of the story, and then she'll give her side of the story, and then she comes up with her solution. Anyway, I don't give her solutions, but I do give her tools to navigate life. My job to my children is to give them that ecosystem and to be there for them when they need me. Not over
parenting.
I don't do that. I was my father didn't do it. So what he did was he gave us a boundary, a sort of framework. This is what it is. This is the do's and the don'ts of the society, of the family. Other than that, you make your choice, you take your decision, you do whatever you want to do. And that's what I did with my children. We say, do not hurt anybody. Do not go, ethically, don't do anything wrong, ethically, morally or spiritually. And that's it. For me, as far as you're not hurting anybody and doing something unethical, I'm fine with it. Yeah, so just live your life, spread your wings. They will have their own experience and they will learn from them. I know how hard my parents were on me, especially my father. I learned from my own experience. My own experience, and what was in my experience was how my father lived his life. I'm observing him, I'm watching him. So what you say does not matter, what you do matters.
Yeah, can you say that again?
What you say does not matter. What you do is what matters. So when I'm writing that, I that's why for me, if my writing is not truthful and if I'm not using that thing on me, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the ideal way of doing it, but still I am not doing it.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
what
have
they say.
to become an example of the life you want to give to your children. So I wanted them to be empowered, so I had to empower myself. That's what I wanted for my daughter. I wanted her to raise concerns when she does that, because I didn't do it before. My mother didn't know. I saw the result. I've seen her whole life, the way it's been gone. It's just gone. Your life is gone just obeying somebody.
Well, it does not mean that do not be submissive to your husband.
Yes,
that's not what is being said here. It's just saying that you have to have a voice in the relationship, in a marriage, in a home. You have to you have to have a voice. You have to speak up.
You have to know what you are contributing. Good, bad, ugly, it's your contribution, and you have to take responsibility for that contribution. You're going out working, you're bringing money on the table. You're coming back, you're going to schools, appointments, meetings. you're bringing that support for your family. You have to see this, you're investing your time into it. You're investing your body into it. You're investing your money into it, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You're invested. This is what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
So if you're not working, don't think that I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Who is okay? Hire a house help then. If you are a housewife, please step out of the house for a couple of months and ask your husband to hire a house help.
Well, not acknowledging it does not mean that it's not being done. So whether he acknowledges it or not, you're doing the job.
And
So acknowledge it yourself.
no, that's empowering.
Yeah. So acknowledge what you're bringing to the table, because you are bringing it to the table. You are the whole table.
That's correct. That is absolutely. You have to know your worth. No, that's where self-worth comes. That's where self-esteem comes.
Yeah.
Because we are hit hard with our self-worth and self-esteem issues.
Yeah.
This is big. This is huge. Because unless you are over these issues, you cannot be a confident person.
Yeah. And from that, they say confident mothers bring up confident children.
Yes.
So as you're saying from your story,
I was once a powerless mother,
Yeah.
then I become a powerful mother. Then I
Yes.
created an ecosystem for them.
Yeah.
Where I think now I tell my children, you make a mistake, you have to owe it. You can handle it by yourself, well and good. If you can't, I will handle it for you. But then you will have to obey me, because when if it comes to that point where I have to step up for you for a certain mistake, it's not that I won't listen to you, but I will do it my way.
give an example.
Say they have not done anything yet. They are so responsible.
No,
So-
just say an
Say-
example of something.
Okay.
So we understand.
So what happened? What happened now? I'll say. Say my son is in the school now. In school, when you are in a higher school, things happen there. Boys, their world is different than our world, and I will not say boys are boys or men are men, because I don't want to give them that freedom that you have. When I say men is men are men, or boys are boy, I'm giving you. I want you to take that responsibility. No, you are not. You are a human who, like me, can take accountability and responsibility for everything you do or not do. So for me, it's insult. For me, when I say men are men, boys are boys, it's an insult, because I'm taking their power away. I'm giving them permission, and I'm making it normal for them to misbehave. No, that is me taking their power away. I want you to take responsibility and accountability for action, your action, and your inaction.
Yeah.
So, because I'm taking that for myself, I understand women will be women. If I'm working on myself, on my emotional and mental health, to give you a healed woman who looks after you, who become source of joy for you, source of abundance, everything unseen, love, joy, your support system in every sense, then I expect the same from you as well. I was talking to Robert on the way. I said, just a conversation strike. And I said, like, men are like root of the tree. They hold in the material world. Root is like what men do, and it holds you in the material world. Stem you two together. That's what the world see you as one. And then there are branches and the fruit to bear. That's feminine. Because our spiritual gifts, our intuition, our emotion, that's what you need. We bring love on the table. We bring care. We bring nurturing. That's feminine traits.
Well, you mean the men don't love?
They do. They do. Here's the thing. When I say man, there's a masculine energy and there's a feminine energy.
Yeah.
And that is in both men and women. When you say, instead of saying men, I'll say masculine. Because when I say masculine and feminine, these are the two energies, the forces, which are in me, and in a man and in a woman, both equally present. The imbalance of this will make, in man, if the feminine energy is more, he will become more feminine. In women, if the masculine energy is more not balanced, she will become more manly. Becoming that balance, I learned it hard way, because when being single parent, at point you have to be a nurturing mother, but in a split second you have to become that father who gives structure as well. So I had to train myself to be in this role and that role at the same time. So I got this opportunity. Being single mother was for me an adventurous journey, because I had to bring my masculine energy and feminine energy to balance. So I can be father when I was needed, and I was a mother when I was needed. Now,
how can you be a father when you're a woman?
Masculine energy. I just said there is masculine energy and there is feminine energy. And in our culture we say Shiva and Shakti. Shiva is masculine force. Shakti is feminine force. Masculine energy is all about action, leadership, structure. And feminine energy is all unseen, love, nurturing, intuition, emotions, and feeling. So if I say women feel that, men do feel that, because they have that energy in you. But overly, if man is overly into the feminine energy, he'll be crying. And we had a very good discussion with Robert that if man is emotional and the woman is emotional as well at the same time, you both are crying and not taking any action. No.
But it's okay, they can't cry together.
They can't cry. You
They can cry together, comfort each other, and then go back to their energies.
Yes, that's what we had a discussion. Now, from my point of view, now what I lived in you have to do that. So you have to give yourself that time and space where you are a nurturer, and you have to give time and space to yourself where then you step into your masculine structure. You organize things. Do you want everything in a place when you're running a house? That's the structure you have built. That comes from the masculine energy.
But I've been a single mom as well, and I've been like that, structured. I want to get things done. I don't know if that's masculine energy. I feel like I feel like I'll never be a father.
Okay.
I feel like being a mother and a woman, you can never be a father.
Okay.
Because you're a woman. But you can still be organized. You can get things done. Does that mean now I step into my masculine energy to get that done? So for example, if I'm at work, and I'm doing whatever project that needs to get done, do I have to step into my masculine energy to get my work done? Or can I not do that even as a female?
Yes, you can. Aren't you taking action?
Exactly.
No, here's the thing.
So I don't want to give the men the feeling that you have to only, be masculine to do something.
No,
is that what you're saying?
No.
Exactly.
It's not the thing. What I'm talking about the traits. If there is a salt and sugar in front of you, yeah. With sugar you can cook, with salt you can cook.
Yeah.
But these are two different dishes.
Yeah.
One is the savory, and that's but then when there are dishes where we use both of them for that extra flavor. So that is the third thing. So this is how the masculine energy and feminine energy is. They're two separate forces, but unless they come together, you can't create.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unless they come together, you can't create.
Yeah.
So the creation happens when both masculine and feminine in physical form or in an energy form come together. It won't happen. They are part of the whole. So it's very evident in our own life where father and mother both have to be there to produce a child.
Exactly.
So it's not that women, it's an aspect of, when you see there's a difference when you're raising a boy or you're a girl, there are difference.
Yes.
The way women approach in a situation and the way men approach are different. So that approach, that trait is different than that.
Yeah.
So to bring balance is sometime, like now, I give my example. My son is now finishing his uni, coming back home. And in normal family, if he would have done that when my husband was there, my husband would have kind of sat with him and have a chat. Okay, how are we going to move forward from here with your career and all that? It was not my job, it was his job. Yes, I would have contributed and sat, let them do their thing. But now when he comes back, I cannot just say, I need money to run the house and this and that and this is. No, I have to sit with him and have that chat with him to be able to kind of stand with him shoulder to shoulder, so that now his studies finish, he's coming back. What is the future plan? I have to sit with him to create that structure for him.
Yeah.
Creating structure. Now, feminine energy is all about flow. Masculine energy is all about structure. Like we are water.
Okay.
And we are like water and air.
Okay.
If that the trade of feminine energy is gentle, and like water, we just flow everywhere, anywhere where you're given spaces. It's just that's how we move. We are in flow with things, intuition, emotion, and feeling. Men are more structured. Men, like, if there is, if somebody digs a canal or whatever, that water will flow into it. That's the structure given to us. So if man is a structure, if man is a canvas, women is the painting.
Okay. All right.
She can take any shape in it. So now I have to sit and be in that masculine sort of energy, in the father mode with my son, to be able to support him. Because the days of where he needed his mother's support more are gone now. Now the days that are starting is where he need more of his father's support. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand. But also, don't children need mothers all the way until?
Yes, but then I'm not changing it. I'm saying more.
Yeah.
The thing is changed now. First it was when a little baby is born, even if father is not there, mother can raise a child because she is the whole soul. It's her.
Yeah.
But now when they are in the world, it's father who actually hold the reality of the world. And we got Robert over here. I think he will agree how ugly the world can be. A man knows better than a woman.
Why? Even the woman knows.
Would you agree with that? How ugly it can be.
Even the woman knows.
We need.
That's why there are more men in prison than women.
Thank you, Robert.
So what do you mean by that?
Yes, I appreciate.
So the woman don't know how ugly the world can get? So does that mean I cannot explain to my son how the world can be? Or would he better understand it when it's a man who has said it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So in that case, I would say that if I am a single mother, for example, for your case, or for my case, I would find a male figure for this child.
Yes, and that is very important because
Yeah,
studies has shown that boys who are brought up in single family by mothers, because they didn't had any role model to look up to, they are a bit confused generation now, because they have not had that healthy role model in their life. Now their role models can become anybody who show them little bit of compassion, probably will become their role model, but that's not the right thing, because nobody can protect a child more than a father and a mother. No matter what, if you are in your right state of mind and you consider yourself a mother, in your all sense, in your divine self, mother, you cannot. I'm not talking about those people who are suffering with their own issues and inflict that on their children. I'm not talking about those, because they have their own issues which are passed on to their children, and the way they do it. That's what it is called. When I say it will stop with me, any generational trauma will stop with me here now. It will not pass on to be my children. Somebody have to do that. And those people who are not strong enough to do this, say this, and kind of pass it on to the children, where we see mothers are being horrible to their children. There are stories out on social media in that this has happened, that has happened. That is not happening because they are cruel people. It's happening because they cannot handle the pain anymore. And there is the other side of the story behind the cruelty. Now, even when you give birth and the midwives come to you and say, if child is crying and you are overwhelmed with, leave the child, no matter, in the safe place, no matter how much they are crying. If it's affecting you in a way that you can harm the child, leave the child, go to other room. They say that. That when you are ready to handle the child, then you come to it, or otherwise call help. Because when you are exhausted, you are tired, broken in every sense, and you haven't got that capacity to be that divine mother, the mother that child deserves, you have to separate yourself. You should have that awareness that this is the point, this is my breaking point. After this, I won't be the person I am, and I'll become somebody else. You have to separate yourself, detach.
Yeah, I understand that. But coming back to that point of finding a male figure for your child, if you are a single mother raising a child, or if you're a single dad raising a child by yourself, you find a mother figure for the child, or you find a father figure for the child. It could be an uncle, it could be someone in your community that you feel like you want, that you respect that person and you want them to be an example to your child. You can make that person a role model. You can make them.
You cannot make anything.
No, you cannot make them, but you can request them to be. You can request them to be in your child's life and impact them positively.
I operate on this differently, because probably what my child need, what their soul's lesson they want to learn, they will find out their role model. I will not, because I expected from my brothers back in India, to call when things happen, to call my children and ask them how they were and all that.
But those are far. They are far away.
It doesn't matter. They still could call, video calls. Everything could have happened, but because of their own family issues, because of their own trauma, because of their own insecurities and everything else going on in their life, they were not present in my boy's life. So we were kind of, after that, in a way, isolated. But what I found, what I now kind of look back at it, at different stages of their life, they were different men. They were not my boyfriend or anything, but they were different men.
That's right. I didn't think that.
You don't know what people think.
I didn't think that, but okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the clarification.
They were different men who they kind of come in contact with, and they played an amazing role. Like one of my son's friend's father, he was guiding my son in many different ways, and they are Polish and we are Indian, and it was amazing, and something happened. I called him and I said, this has happened and I don't know how to handle this, and I said, if you want me to, I can talk to him and I'll do this, and he kind of actually stepped up for my son in that situation and handle it really nicely. And that happened. And then there were other family members, distant family members, who on and off came and set a good example. There is my god brother. He's not here now and in Canada. He is very committed to his family. Very committed, to the sense that if his wife says, I don't want to work, he said, okay, don't work. Because they got 3 children as well. He said to her, you will go out to do part-time work, yeah? You handle the house, I'll do 1.5 job, and we'll be still there. Now, for me, he's I won't say that he's a very educated person, but he's very committed to his family. Not to just his own immediate family, his children, his wife, but to his parents, and his siblings as well. Very committed, and I have seen him kind of working hard to kind of keep everything together and create that safe space. And now that he walked in our life and they saw the example, but then my children were very wise. They said this is where he's right and this is where he's wrong. And if you have that sense of discernment, I think you will find that every single person you meet is that role model, is that teacher who will teach you. For me, I learned from you when I saw you at the event.
Okay.
The way you were like blooming in that event, and that you left an impression. So you did not. Nobody had to give introduction about Leah to me because I saw you in action and I loved it what I saw, and I admire you for that, and I did compliment you in front of your brother. And this is what I saw in her, and I like her.
Thank you.
For who she has become.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Just to wrap up, what would be your last words to a mom out there, a dad out there? Like, what would be your last words, last piece of advice?
Work on yourself.
Look at them.
Work on yourself, because if you are feeling inadequate in here, you won't feel adequate out. You have to be connected to your own self. They say, as above, so below, as inward, so out, as inside, as the same as outside. If you don't feel content within yourself, you will be running in this rat race. You will not. If you don't feel worthy yourself of what you have or what is in front of you to claim it, that's gonna be the problem, because it was there for you to take it. So even if it's a love relationship, if the right person is in front of you and you don't feel worthy of that person, it's there. They're there to say yes to you in every sense, in every way, but you don't feel worthy, and you will lose the gift that the universe has put in front of you. Horrible failures.
We don't want that.
Horrible failure. And then this is not just that. There's an opportunity. Sometimes we doubt ourselves so much that somebody kind of comes up with an opportunity. Okay, we want you to work on this one. I said, no, I can't do it. It's not me. They have seen something in you.
Yeah.
That's why they are there giving you that opportunity.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you will disappoint yourself.
Yeah, they said don't self-reject.
Don't, just give it a shot. For me, what I have learned over years is I haven't got I'm a graduate, yes, but I haven't got any specific degree in psychology or spiritual master or anything like that. I don't say that. But I have this thing, I have this passion to learn. So what I do is, if I'm into something, I was given an opportunity to be a trustee of a charity. I was never a trustee to a charity. So that's a big thing. Ooh, when the opportunity was given, and I was taken in as well. I didn't know how to run a charity. I know nothing about it, but I used to run my own group. I know what I did in it, and so look, that's just would be a stepping stone for me, because I know I won't be there lifetime. You are not in any job for lifetime. And so that was the sense for me. So I went in there, I saw what was going on. I said, okay, tell me what. There was a couple of things that I was not happy about. So I made myself sit and I learned all about charity. I went onto the websites and the charity, what is that organization that regulates the charity? I forgot the name now. So I went on there and I checked what is the role of the trustee, how charity, what we want, what we are doing for community, and how it should be done, what are the rules and the regulations and the laws are. Once you are in, you give yourself to it, to the cause.
100%.
Otherwise, don't step into it.
Yeah.
You can always learn. Life is all about learning. If you're scared of learning, if you're scared of change, you will never move forward. So work on yourself. Invest your time in yourself. The loyalty you give to somebody else, give the loyalty yourself. The honesty you give to somebody else, give it to you. The friendship you offer to somebody else, Oh, become your own friends. Delicious. It is when you become your own friend. When you bring that loyalty back to you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm a very loyal friend. And when I saw nobody can be as loyal as I am, nobody brings to the table what I bring to the table.
I bring that.
And I am left discontent from everything. So I sat there and I said, what did I give to that person? And I didn't receive that back. Now I want to give that everything back to me. So I sit there in the prayer. I call back all the energy back to me. To serve me now. For this time, I'm gonna serve. I'm gonna give that damn love to me that I hold for them, but they didn't. You are there, the creator. You're exuding things. When women is in love, when women know her worth, you exude, you bloom, you are like overflowing with everything when you know your worth. But when other people, they don't know, they don't see that, they don't kind of feel like they are ready for you. They're not worthy of you. They don't meet you on their level. What do?
You give it back to yourself.
Yeah, you are the source of it. The love you feel, you are the source of it. The loyalty you are the source of it. So you are the source. You are the one. Give it to yourself. God, life becomes so beautiful when you do that for yourself. Delicious, divine life, And yes, we are social being, but then if somebody's not meeting you on that level where you are, would you compromise your values?
No.
Would you dim your light?
No.
When somebody comes to your life, if you are open, honest, and awakened person, you give them that space to grow with you. If they are not willing to step on it, you cannot make it happen for them. They have to jump in the wagon.
Yeah, that's why they say when you're in a relationship, you have to be growing together.
Yes, that's
you have to be growing together. It's very important.
Any job you go into, you grow with the job, because you have to kind of give it time to kind of feel. You train yourself, you take training. When you're a mother, you have no experience of motherhood. You become mother. It's a journey. You can stay in a wounded mother state. You can be in a controlling mother state. You can be whatever.
Or you can decide. Do you know that some people don't know that they are wounded? Do you know that some people don't know that?
That's where you come in to empower them, to bring this awareness. That's where these kind of talks come in. The awareness that I tell you, there are types of motherhood. If you know what kind you are you a wounded feminine? And you go on Google. Today is the age of AI. What are the traits of wounded women, wounded masculine, unhealed mother, unhealed? They will put they will make a list for you. And then you ask them how to improve. They will create for you everything. You can have your own plan with the AI. God, is so easy. Learning is so easy. Improving is so
very easy.
Yeah, it's everything. Even if somebody send you a text, send you a text, and you feel that negative energy coming out of it, and they deny it, put it in AI and ask them, what are the distortions in this message? They will tell you. It will actually summarize it for you. This is the distortion in the message, because you don't have to go and show it to anybody outside you that this person sent me this mail and this is how I felt about it, but they are not acknowledging it. First of all, you should be able to self-acknowledge yourself, but then to just be on the safe side, sometime before I take my next action, I do that. They will tell you these are the distortions and this is how it is. Is it commanding? Is it suppressing? Is it controlling? Is it whatever? It will give you whole thing. And how can you be in your center, be in your power, and reply to this in a more empowered way? It shows it's everything there. No. It's easier to teach yourself if you are willing to teach yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming to Simply Moms. And I hope mothers, fathers, you've learned a lot from this episode.
Subscribe to Simply Mom, because Leah, I'm really thankful to you for kind of inviting me over here. It's the first time, I wear I was invited to talk about my motherhood journey.
Okay.
I did write on it a couple of times, but it's to be able to have this conversation with the other brilliant mind,
Yeah.
and to be able to compare it is amazing thing.
Yeah.
And awareness of everything. As Leah said, that some people are not aware. Not most of us are not aware unless we choose to be aware.
Yeah.
If the awareness comes from kind of sitting with yourself and talking to yourself to see what hurts me, what makes me angry, what is the pain behind it, and be able to work on that. And if we kind of piece by piece understand it, break it down, and then kind of find who you really, really are at the core. And I promise you, you are the most empowered, soft, and powerful person beneath all the conditioning that has happened to you, beneath all the beliefs you might be carrying.
Yeah.
Because that's how I figure you have to kind of peel off the layers of conditioning, society, family conditioning, behavior, and this and that, and go at the core, and you'll see you are the most beautiful, enlightened being within yourself, that you will fall in love with yourself over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's where this self-love comes from.
Yes.
You love yourself so much that you see other people's journey and you love them for who they have become.
Yeah.
And you see their becoming because you have witnessed your own becoming.
Yeah.
And thank you very much. And I always say, celebrate yourself and enjoy your uniqueness.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you soon in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Oh my God. Yeah. So it's the tone.